Powerful. How much does your spirituality influence your music? How much did it influence it then? How much does it influence it now?
Man, without my spirituality, homie, without my family being ultra religious, you know, I was raised a Christian. My mom married a Muslim when I was 12. So from 12 from 17, I studied Islam. I ran away from home at 17. Without my spirituality, there will be no Tech-9, man. There will be no Angel Baby. You know what I'm sizzling? So thank God for that spirituality. Even though I've elevated in my mind later on in my life, and I know what I think is malarkey, but I use things from these beliefs to fit my life. And Islam as well, and Christianity, I'll use things that help me through life. You know, so without my spirituality, or my quest to find everybody else's beliefs to see what I wanted when I was a youngster, it made Tech-9.
How do you feel about drug promotion in hip hop or rap music?
It's always been there. It's always been there. You know what I mean? It's always been there. I wasn't the first. Travis Scott ain't the first. Any of the Surf Sippers ain't the first. You know what I mean? Because I know that you don't hear a lot of stories in hip hop. I mean, you didn't hear a lot of stories in hip hop about artists dying from drug overdoses. You know what I mean? I almost died. I did 15 pills in one night, you know, when I was in LA, you know, opening for Outkast some years ago. And when you Tech-9, everything comes for free and in abundance, you know. And when you're young like that, you don't know when to stop. So if you go back to Absolute Power 2002, that whole record, I was loaded, man. Ecstasy, shrooms, acid, Adderall. I never did any heroin, no shooting up. I never did any cocaine because my nostrils, I mean my nasal has always been a thing, you know what I mean? I've always had a sensitive nose, so I never could put anything up my nose. I always had sinus trouble, so I never did any coke. I know I've been to a lot of coke parties, and the you know, I've been to a lot of coke parties in my time, you know, and the pretty girls try to put it on your teeth because you won't snort it, and like, I don't feel anything. What are you talking about? You know what I'm saying? But how I feel about drug rap, it's something that's gonna be here forever. You know what I mean? And it's about you being hands-on with your children. My kids aren't on drugs. I got a 21-year-old, a 24-year-old, and a 25-year-old. You know what I'm saying? So my kids ain't on drugs. You know what I'm saying? And it's because that the parents were hands-on, man. You know what I'm saying? How you don't know that your son is building a bomb in the garage? How you don't know that?
Word.
How you don't know that your son has bought guns, machine guns, fully automatic machine guns, and planning to take it to school in Columbine? How you don't know that? It's because people don't take time with their children, man. You know, I wish I had more time with my children back when I was young than being on the road. I wish I had more time, but I'm thankful that their mothers were strong enough to lead them in a way, and what I would say to them would lead them in a way, or they seen my life and it's like, Daddy, we almost lost you and don't want that, you know? I think that youngsters are supposed to rap about what they know about, and the parents need to be more hands-on, man, and know what their kids are listening to, you know what I mean? Or more about their behavior, because they're gonna listen to it. They're gonna, they're gonna go on Pornhub. They're gonna do everything on their phone. Everything is at their fingertips, man. You know what I'm sizzling? So it's hard to stop a lot of things. But if you're right there and you're paying attention, you know if your little one is smoking weed. You know if your little one looks kind of glassy in the eyes. You know this. But if there's neglect going on, then these people that they listen to will be the ones that make them want to try and see. I made it through it. I made it through it. Nobody influenced me to want to do any drugs. I was a big Jim Morrison fan, and I still didn't want to do any drugs back when I was younger. It's just when I started this Tech Nine thing, man, it was just so many people coming at me, and I found out that Molly made me feel so good, you know what I mean, until it almost killed me, you know, and putting Adderall on top of it, man, Jesus, you know, I was just trying to give myself a heart attack, but I didn't feel like I was in pain. I thought I was just partying, but maybe I was in pain. But I've been clean for the last 14 or 15 years. You know what I mean? And I ain't talking about weed. I'm talking about everything else.
I ain't never walked that.
We ain't a drug. That's a plant, goddammit. That's a plant. That ain't nothing. Talk about the responsibility of hip hop artists, though, because they're depicting what they're going through, and we can understand the authenticity and appreciate it. But some, not all, but some glamorize it and promote it. Do they owe people more of a responsibility in their lyrics?
How do you know that ain't all they know? How do you know that ain't all they know? These young cats ain't tripping off the responsibility. They just rapping about what they doing. You know what I'm saying? I pop, ooh, pop, ooh, pop, ooh. You know what I'm saying? They don't know. They at the raves, they at the new raves, you know what I'm saying? The dubstep concert, they at the new raves, popping it. I know because I'm there and they have here you go. And I'm like, oh, thank you. Act like I'm taking it, throw it away, and then when they see me like 20 minutes after, they like, how you feel? It's like I'm like, oh, I feel great, thank you. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you know, these young cats don't know anything about responsibility. Like, okay, if I say that I'm with 3 chicks in the bedroom and we're on Molly and we're on Adderall, it just sounds like a party. You know what I mean? It sounds like a party to a youngster. But after a while, you'll get that you can run yourself down if you survive it. You know what I mean? Because it is dangerous. And I feel like everybody has a responsibility to be mindful of what they say, but you really can't gauge what people know for real when they glamorize something. How do you know that ain't what all they know? Because when I hear I pop, I roll, I na, you know what I'm saying? You know Fabo was getting messed up. I feel like Fabo. How Young Thug say, I feel like Fabo. I know what he mean because I felt like Fabo. I pop, I roll, I na, you know what I'm saying? Like, how you can't tell me that Fabo don't believe in that. They kicking it until it's all fun and games until somebody dies. But that's life. Life is taking a chance, and these people are taking chances with their lives. I done it, but I made it. Don't mean everybody else will. You know what I mean? So you can't really gauge if they should have a responsibility. Yeah, when you're thinking right, you're like, man, maybe I shouldn't say that. There's a lot of things that I won't say because I could make my fans do stuff. You know what I mean? I have a following to where I can say, everybody wear this and wear this and wear that, and I'll see you. They'll do it. You know what I'm saying? If I use my power for evil or point it at somebody, that's crazy. That's crazy. You got to be mindful when it comes to stuff like that. But if I'm telling a story about when I got high and I almost died, and at the end of T9, the T9 experience, the Tech 9 experience, I said, this is my effed up life. Don't try this at home. You know what I mean? Like, I was telling you my story, but I told them, please don't try this. You know what I mean? Because you might not make it. So maybe I was mindful back then, but you're not thinking about that when you're young, man. So it's hard to say. these young people would have the mindset to say, maybe I shouldn't say that, or maybe I'm not really doing that, so why am I promoting it? Who are you to say they're not doing it? How do you know? You know what I mean? That's all.
Definitely. I'm gonna ask you about, you work with a lot of people, Eminem.